Hi friends, good morning. Today we are going to do a mango tasting of specific mangoes that we have never tasted before, and these are mangoes from Egypt. So I don't know, I didn't research before coming here what kind of mangoes grow there, whether they have a specific flavor, like when you say Indian mangoes, there's a specific flavor to Indian mangoes, whether Egyptian mangoes also have a specific flavor. I know a little bit that it's not a humid place like here in Florida, so it's kind of a dry place. So I was wondering if Egyptian mangoes do well here or not, but it looks like these mangoes have done pretty well so far. This is a Taymour, Zebda and Ewais. So hopefully these are popular ones in Egypt, and somebody who is from Egypt watching this would be able to tell me if the taste of these mangoes actually corresponds to the taste of the mangoes there, or if they even sometimes look similar, because many mangoes from India they get mislabeled when they come here in the USDA and they are not the same. So I'm not sure if Taymour would look the same Taymour there. If not, then let us know through this video if it's looking different and something suspicious. But anyways, yeah, do like and subscribe and comment so that we know we are making this for educational purpose. There's nothing more to it. It's just we want the information to go out to as many people as possible. Okay, let's start. We'll start with Taymour, and this mango looks the biggest one out of 3, and it has a long pointed beak. Color change was a little bit yellow, but it seems like it stays mostly pale green when it is ripe. I could have let it go more, but it started to get a little bit like a rotting. I think it started when the rains started here, so I didn't want it to start getting bad from there. Yeah, there's a spicy aroma to it, same with Indian mangoes. Inside looks clean and orange and nice. Smell is pretty sweet and no specific smell to it. Wow, it's a sweet and spicy mix. Texture is melting and juicy, very good texture. Flavor also, it's a different flavor than Florida mangoes. I mean, if you want a mango, if you are bored of eating citrus flavored mangoes or pineapple flavored mangoes or sweet and tart mangoes, then you should go for it. We would not always eat in American cuisine. Sometimes you want to go and eat in Indian restaurant, sometimes in Egyptian restaurant. So this is what it is. It's just a change of flavor and it's unique. It's sweet. The first bite, a sweetness comes, and then comes like a spiciness that's different from spiciness of curry. It's not salty spiciness that curry or berry has. It's also not peppery spiciness that Sonpuri or Alfonso mango has. It has a certain depth to it. I can't explain. Closer to the skin, there is some pepperiness, peppery spicy, similar to Indian mangoes, but the pulp itself, it has a sweetness with deep complex flavor to it, which I really like this mango. If it is like this and it's not really looking bad outside either, and inside is clean, no fiber, completely fiberless, even closer to the skin, 1 or 2 fibers, but and the seed is thin as well, so I think it's a good mango. I have only eaten some Egyptian candies before. They're extremely sweet. And this one I'm eating closer to the seed, the Taymour. It looks like someone put like a couple of extra cups of sugar into it. So that's how sweet these are. Very, very sweet. Actually, I already finished eating the Taymour, but the sweetness is still lingering in my tongue. So the brix is very high. Sweetness level is very high on this mango. Zebda mango. Also, it's green on the outside, starting to change color, but it's soft already, and I didn't want to again let it go too much. And it looks like it is already ripe. Smaller mango. Inside looks like this compared to Taymour, that was a more like oranges. This is more pale orange color. It does have a spicy note to it. A little bit of fiber it has. You can see the fibers coming out here, and it's kind of a mild tasting compared to Taymour. The undertone is the same spiciness that you would find in Indian mangoes, so I think it might have an origin from India somewhere. Came to Egypt. Probably these mangoes were brought from India at some point and naturalized there in Egypt, but it does have that spicy undertone that usually the Indian mangoes have. I didn't find the sweetness level that would make it an exceptional mango. If this was sweet, it would come to the same flavor, peak flavor as any Indian mangoes would. So a bit washed out, but who knows, maybe in Egypt the drier climate makes it sweeter. We have had dry weather here in Florida, but probably not as dry as how it happens in Egypt. So it reminds me of Suvarnarekha mango, actually very peppery, spicy, with sweetness that if it was a bit more sweet, it would be in its peak flavor. Very fibrous by the skin as well, so I think it probably didn't get to its peak flavor because it was picked a bit early. Sometimes it happens when fruits are picked a bit early. Number one, they become washed out. They may develop the color, like if I had let it go 2 more days, it would have become yellow on the outside, but it would not ever get the peak flavor that it needed to. And number two, you will also see a lot of fibers if it's picked early. So disappointing. I would not judge Zebda just based on this mango, but Taymour for sure was it at its peak flavor, and I really liked the Taymour mango. Ewais, it looks yellow on the outside. Hopefully it was picked in time. Similar smell to it. All 3 mangoes have this strong spicy. Oh, it looks like it went over. Yeah, it does look like, it's hard to tell. There are mangoes, it looks like it's deep orange or like even starting to go over ripe. So I'll try to get some bite from the side here to see if I can get a flavor profile. Wow, it's extremely sweet. Extremely sweet. They should call this raw honey. Sometimes the fruits develop those honey pockets that are extremely sweet. The whole fruit looks like this and it tastes like this. It's extremely sweet, and I kind of think that it could balance the base, which is kind of spicy base, like peppery spicy, like Indian mango spicy. I think Ewais has a potential if it was eaten a little bit earlier, maybe a couple of days, 3 or 4 days earlier. It would get this nice combination of spicy and sweet together. I'm still eating by the seed of this Ewais, and what's interesting is that with this amount of sweetness and this amount of overripeness, our Florida mangoes would already be tasting funky, rotten, sour tasting, but this one has not. Very interesting. Even with this overripeness, as if it's used to being overripe and still holding the sweetness, not fermenting that easily. Very good. I want to eat Taymour again to see which one is my best Egyptian mango. I think Taymour is better for me, but again, I'm not comparing them at the same ripening stage. It seems like if Ewais was maybe 3 or 4 days earlier, then maybe they would have been comparable to each other. But my problem is, because of this over ripeness, the sweetness is so much that I can't really catch and extract the spiciness to balance it. It's sweet and spicy like Indian mangoes, but at the depth wise, like, you know, sometimes you talk about depth of the taste. I think Taymour has some depth to it. Yeah, something more going on with sweet and spiciness in Taymour, some herbal undertones, and I don't know. If you have space for one mango, you know, they always ask when I don't tell them exactly which mango is the best out of three. If you have space for one mango, always look into what is more productive. You don't want a mango that is there for 10 years and it's just giving 1 or 2 mangoes every year. Both of these are equally good. Ewais turns into a nice yellow color, but I think you need to catch it when it's still pale green or like slightly starting to change the color. And Taymour is best in this color when it is some areas of yellow, some areas of pale green. Yeah, if you have a sweet tooth and you really like sweet mangoes, then Ewais will not disappoint you. If you just want a complex flavor, like, you know, sweetness plus something more going on, Taymour would be good. I would say for now, for out of these, I would choose a Taymour mango over the other two mangoes. Zebda was out of contest because it was not again in its peak flavor time. I think it was picked immature and didn't really ripen well. So I'm really happy Egyptian mangoes didn't disappoint me actually. Sometimes you try mangoes from Haiti, we try mangoes from Puerto Rico, from Hawaii sometimes, and you know, it's like, okay, they didn't ripen well, or they were not picked at the right time or something, or maybe our microclimate doesn't support mangoes from there. But I'm surprised the Taymour mango, it couldn't get better than this, and I don't know how in Egypt it is, but it's exceptionally well tasting. And Ewais as well, it's if this is the same mango in Egypt, it probably, and if it gets better than this, I can't imagine how tasty mangoes these people are having there. So very happy to get mangoes from different part of the world, and always keep an open mind. You know, sometimes maybe you travel there and have mangoes. You know, traveling just broadens your mind. You see different spectrum of how life is in different places and how people have different tastes. Otherwise you would be growing up eating lemon meringue and citrus and oranges, and you'll always have fixated taste of those things in your mind, and you want to crave those tastes in mangoes as well. Whereas if you go traveling around in your 20s, 30s, never too late, even in your 50s, you will see that there are cultures where different kinds of food is eaten, and you will just have a broader perspective of life, broader perspective of taste, and you'll just be enriching yourself. You would be expanding yourself rather than constricting. So no harm in there. So after the COVID is a little bit better, hopefully this video inspires you to actually travel to Egypt. I would be doing it. Hopefully you'll be doing that as well. Thank you.